वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वते नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणे विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषये भवरोगिणां दशे सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ओम्। वासुदेवेन्द्रयोगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुम्। You can repeat after me. मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधो विधीयते।
मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधो विधीयते।
चतुष्टय संपन्नाधिकारिणां मोक्षसाधनभूतं तत्त्वविवेकप्रकारं वक्ष्यामः।
साधनचतुष्टय संपन्नाधिकारिणां मोक्षसाधनभूतं तत्त्वविवेकप्रकारं वक्ष्यामः।
अथ चतुष्टयं किम्?
साधनचतुष्टयं किम्?
नित्यवस्तुविवेकः इहामुद्धार्थः फलभोगविरागः शमादिषट्कसम्पत्तिः मुमुक्षुत्वं चेति।
नित्यवस्तुविवेकः इहामुद्धार्थफलभोगविरागः शमादिषट्कसम्पत्तिः मुमुक्षुत्वं चेति।
नित्यवस्तुविवेकः कः?
नित्यवस्तुविवेकः कः?
नित्यवस्तु एकं ब्रह्म तद्व्यतिरिक्तं सर्वम् अनित्यम् अयम् एव नित्यवस्तुविवेकः।
नित्यवस्वेकं ब्रह्म तद्व्यतिरिक्तं सर्वमनित्यम् अयमेव नित्यवस्तुविवेकः।
विरागः कः? इह स्वर्गभोगेषु इच्छाराहित्यम् शमादिषट्कसम्पत्तिः का? शमः दमः उपरमः तितिक्षा श्रद्धा समाधानं च इति।
शमः दमः उपरमः तितिक्षा श्रद्धा समाधानं च इति।
शमः कः? मनोनिग्रहः दमः कः?
दमः कः
चक्षुरादि इन्द्रिय निग्रहः
चक्षुरादीन्द्रियनिग्रहः
परमः कः
परमः कः
धर्मानुष्ठानम् एव
धर्मानुष्ठानमेव
तितिक्षा का
तितिक्षा का
शीतोष्णसुखदुःखादिसहिष्णुत्वम्
शीतोष्णसुखदुःखादिसहिष्णुत्वम्
श्रद्धा कीदृशी
श्रद्धा क्रीडशी
वेदान्तवाक्येषु विश्वासः श्रद्धा
गुरुवेदान्तवाक्यादिषु विश्वासः श्रद्धा
समाधानं किम्
समाधानं किम्
चित्तैकाग्रता
चित्तैकाग्रता
मुमुक्षुत्वं किम्
मुमुक्षुत्वं किम्
मोक्षो मे भूयात् इति इच्छा
मोक्षो मे भूयात् इति इच्छा
एतत् साधनचतुष्टयम् ततः तत्त्वविवेकस्य अधिकारिणः भवन्ति
एतत् साधनचतुष्टयम् ततः विवेकस्याधिकारिणो भवन्ति
तत्त्वविवेकः कः
तत्त्वविवेकः कः
आत्मा सत्यः तदन्यत् सर्वं मिथ्या इति
आत्मा सत्यः तदन्यत् सर्वं मिथ्या इति
आत्मा कः
आत्मा कः
स्थूलसूक्ष्मकारणशरीरात् व्यतिरिक्तः पञ्चकोशातीतः सन् अवस्थात्रयसाक्षी सच्चिदानन्दरूपः सन् यः तिष्ठति स आत्मा
स्थूलसूक्ष्मकारणशरीरात् व्यतिरिक्तः पञ्चकोशातीतः सन् अवस्थात्रयसाक्षी सच्चिदानन्दस्वरूपः सन् यः तिष्ठति स आत्मा
स्थूलशरीरं किम्
स्थूलशरीरं किम्
पञ्चीकृतपञ्चमहाभूतैः कृतं सत्कर्मजन्यं सुखदुःखादिभोगायतनं शरीरम्
पञ्चीकृतपञ्चमहाभूतैः कृतं सत्कर्मजन्यं सुखदुःखादिभोगायतनं शरीरम्
एते वर्धते विपरिणमते अपक्षीयते विनश्यति इति षट्विकारवत् एतत् स्थूलशरीरम्
जायते वर्धते विपरिणमते अपक्षीयते विनश्यति इति षड्विकारवत् एतत् स्थूलशरीरम्
सूक्ष्मशरीरं किम्
सूक्ष्मशरीरं किम्
पञ्चीकृतपञ्चमहाभूतैः कृतं सत्कर्मजन्यं सुखदुःखादिभोगसाधनम्
अपञ्चीकृतसूक्ष्ममहाभूतैः कृतं सत्कर्मजन्यं सुखदुःखादिभोगसाधनम्
ज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि पञ्चकर्मेन्द्रियाणि पञ्चप्राणादयः मनश्चैकं बुद्धिश्चैका एवं सप्तदशकलाभिः सह यत् तिष्ठति तत् सूक्ष्मशरीरम्
ज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि पञ्चकर्मेन्द्रियाणि पञ्चप्राणादयो मनश्चैकं बुद्धिश्चैका एवं सप्तदशकलाभिः सह यत् तिष्ठति तत् सूक्ष्मशरीरम्
श्रोत्रं त्वक् चक्षुरसनाघ्राणम् इति पञ्चज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि
श्रोत्रं त्वक् चक्षुरसना घ्राणम् इति पञ्च ज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि
श्रोत्रस्य दिग्देवता त्वचो वायुः
श्रोत्रस्य दिग्देवता त्वचो वायुः
चक्षुषः सूर्यः रसनायाः वरुणः
चक्षुषः सूर्यः रसनाय वरुणः
घ्राणस्य अश्विनौ इति ज्ञानेन्द्रियदेवताः
घ्राणस्य अश्विनौ इति ज्ञानेन्द्रियदेवताः
श्रोत्रस्य विषयः शब्दग्रहणं त्वचो विषयः स्पर्शग्रहणं चक्षुषो विषयः रूपग्रहणं रसनाया विषयः रसग्रहणम् इति रसग्रहणं न रसः मिस्टेक् इन् करेक्ट् घ्राणस्य विषयः गन्धग्रहणं देर् आल्सो द विसर्ग आफ्टर् गन्ध
तस्य विषयः शब्दग्रहणम्
त्वचो विषयः स्पर्शग्रहणम् चक्षुषो विषयः रूपग्रहणम् रसनाय विषयः रसग्रहणम् ज्ञानस्य विषयः गन्धग्रहणम् इति
Shabdagrahanam, Spashaganam, they are a single word, samasa. So there is no space actually between, but a single word. Therefore, rasaha, there is no visarga after rasaha, there is no visaha after gandaha. It's a single word. Rasagrahanam, gandagrahanam. I forgot to correct that. I'll do it in next class. Panit pada payu upasthani iti pancha karmendriyani.
अप्पाणिपादपायूपस्थानीति पञ्च कर्मेन्द्रियाणि
वाचो देवता वह्निः हस्तयोरिन्द्रः पादयोर्विष्णुः पायोर्मृत्युः उपस्थस्य प्रजापतिः इति कर्मेन्द्रियदेवताः विसर्ग देवताः
plural. Yeah. वाचो देवता वह्निः हस्तयोरिन्द्रः पादयोर्विष्णुः पायोर्मृत्युः उपस्थस्य प्रजापतिः इति कर्मेन्द्रियदेवताः
देवताः कर्मेन्द्रियदेवताः पाण्योर्विषयो वस्तु ग्रहणं पादयोर्विषयः गमनं पायोर्विषयः मलत्यागः उपस्थस्य विषयः आनन्दः इति
आचो विषयो
भाषणं पाण्योर्विषयः वस्तुग्रहणं
आयोर्विषयो मलत्यागः
उपस्थस्य विषयम् आनन्द इति
It is Panyor, not Panyor. Panyor. Pani Shabda. Panyor. After this we saw in the last class. So now we will continue. In our discussion on Sukshma Shariram so far, in understanding what is not Atma, we have discussed Pancha Jnanendriyani and Pancha Karmendriyani and their corresponding Adhisthana Devatas. Now after this discussion, the author is supposed to deal with Pancha Pranaha, Manas and Buddhi. Pancha Pranaha, Manas and Buddhi, because that is mentioned in the Sukshma Shariram definition. You see the Sukshma Shariram definition, there each word has been taken for discussion by the author and yes, discussion. Pancha Jnanendriyani, Pancha Karmendriyani. But Pancha Pranadayaha is where Manascha Ekam, Buddhischa Ekam. Pancha Pranaha, Manas and Buddhi, the author didn't discuss these topics. Either we can assume that author has missed it, or maybe we have lost those portions in the original manuscripts. That is also possible. So that we don't know. So anyway, for the sake of the completion, we will discuss this Pancha Pranavayaha, Manaha and Buddhi. Though already we have discussed in the previous classes, if not in detail, we have discussed. So today we will discuss further on those topics briefly. So since the author has not defined Pancha Pranavayaha, Manaha, Buddhi, so I will borrow the discussion on those topics from the other texts to complete the discussion. Also, when we discuss, we have referred to the previous classes discussion on these topics. So now, Pancha Pranaha. Pancha Pranaha. Ke Pancha Pranaha. What are Pancha Pranas? Say for every topic, the student asks a question and the teacher replies. If you see the Pancha Jnanendriyani, there is no question on the part of the student. But we can supply Kani Pancha Jnanendriyani. So similarly here, Ke Pancha Pranaha. What are those Pancha Pranaha? That Pancha Prana are, you can repeat after me. Prana, Pana, Vyano, Dana, Samana.
Prana, Pana, Vyano, Dana, Samana.
One minute. Here, I don't know what they say correctly. I will say again. Prana, Pana, Vyano, Dana, Samana.
Prana,
Prana,
Pana,
Dana, Samanaha.
Yeah, there is a mistake when you repeat. See, Prana, Pana, Vyano, Dana, Danas, it's not Danas. Prana, Pana, Vyano, Dana, Samanaha. You cannot add one more sakara after na, not Danas, Samanaha. Dana, Samanaha. Okay, you can repeat now. Prana, Pana, Vyano, Dana, Samanaha.
Prana, Pana,
Vyano, Dana, Samanaha.
Samanaha.
Iti Pancha Pranaha.
Iti Pancha Pranaha.
Okay. Prana, Pana, Vyano, Dana, Samanaha. It's a single word actually. It's called in Sanskrit Samasa. All these Pancha Pranas are put together and becomes a single word. Therefore, the sandhi between the words are possible. It's a must, it's mandatory. That we will discuss in our Sanskrit class. So, Prana. Ke Pancha Pranaha, Prana, Pana, Vyano, Dana, Samanaha, iti Pancha Pranaha. Prana is Prana plus Apana becomes Prana, Apana. Vyana, Udana is Vyana, Udana. A plus U becomes O, Vyano, Udana, and Samanaha. So it is because this is 5 pranas are there, it's a Bahuvachanam, therefore Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha, iti Pranaha, Prano, Pranaha, Samanaha, Samano, Samanaha. The last word will have the Dirgha, Aha. That is why it is there. Prana, Pana, Vyano, Dana, Samanaha. So you must be careful when you read this. Danas Samanaha. Generally, there is a tendency to say Danas Samanaha. That is not correct. Dana Samanaha. Okay. Now, the word Pranaha, it is translated as energy or vital force. That is how in English you will find the translation in many books. You must understand one thing, there are many words in Sanskritam which cannot be translated into English. There are so many words. That is peculiar, unique only to Sanskritam. Similarly, there are words in other language cannot be translated perfectly into Sanskrit also. as we have seen some words which have to be used as such, we don't need translation like Atma, Jagat, Prana is also one such word. So we will retain the word Prana, Pranaha. We will not translate it. We will not use the word vital force or energy. So you please understand when I use the word Pranaha. We know what Prana is. As long as Prana is active in the body, is alive in the body is alive. The moment the Prana leaves the body, the person is dead. So Prana is that which keeps the body alive. Minus Prana, there is no life in the body. It becomes a dead body. The five Pranaha, the Pancha Pranaha, it corresponds to the five-fold physiological functions of our biological system. In human biology, there are so many systems out there, but it has been broadly classified based on the physiological functions and into the five prana. They are pranaha, apanaha, dhyanaha, udanaha and samanaha. These five pranas are collectively called pranaha. When we say pranaha, it includes all the five prana. The word prana stands for all the five pranas. Also, the prana is a general term. Therefore, it includes all the five pranas. But when we use the word prana as one of the five physiological functions, then the word prana, it refers to the respiratory system. Prana as an individual word referring to one of the five pranas, it represents the respiratory system. The five pranas are collectively called prana also, and as one of the five physiological functions, prana refers to the respiratory system. So depending on the context, we have to understand what prana means. Now prana as one of the five pranas, it stands for the function of the respiratory system corresponding to the lung. Our nostrils, they are just the openings through which the air is taken into the lung and from the lung to outside. For inhalation and exhalation, the external opening is the nostril. But the very function of inhalation and exhalation takes place in the lung and for the lung, not for the nostrils. Nostrils are the opening, just the opening passage. Therefore, the nostrils and the lung, they all form part of our respiratory system. Even the heart also, because the oxygen what we inhale is used for the purification of blood. So that also can be considered as part of the respiratory system. Taittiriya Brahmana says, Pranaha Hridaye. Prana is located in the heart. We don't know what the air is refers to physical heart or not. But this is the Taittiriya Brahmana says. The location of prana is the heart. But prana is sensed at the tip of the nose. Therefore, the tip of the nose is considered to be the seat of prana. That is why we keep the hand below the nose to check whether the person is alive. So therefore, now the power, the Shakti, which operates behind the functioning of our respiratory physical organ, is called by the name Pranaha. That is the first prana, then the five pranas. Then the next prana, Apana. Apana. Apana represents the function of removal of wastage from the body. Excretory system, Apanaha. The removal of wastage from the body. The removal of waste in any form, whether it is sweat or urine or solid waste, it is all done by the Apana. Therefore, the Shakti which operates behind the functioning of cleaning, removing the wastage from the body is called by the name Apana. That Shakti which is behind the operation of evacuatory physical organs is called by the name Apana. The seat of Apana is the organ of creation. That is its location. Apana. Then comes Vyanaha. Vyanaha, it represents the function of circulation. The circulation is important for the proper functioning of all the organs of the body. The energy, the vitamins, the nutrition which is extracted from the food after assimilation, it should be distributed throughout the body. That distribution depends on the requirement and consumption by each organ. Therefore, the circulatory function has to ensure that the energy is properly distributed. If the consumed food is assimilated and remains in the stomach, then what will happen? Then stomach alone will grow. Other organs will not get the energy and it will not grow. It will not function also. Therefore, because of circulatory system, the energy and the nutrition is distributed to all the parts of the human system. Whether it is distribution of nutrition or circulation of blood to all the parts of the system, it is taken care by Vyana. Therefore, the Shakti, the power which operates behind this function of circulation is called Vyana. The Vyana, the seat of Vyana is the whole body. The locus of Vyana is the entire body. Like the Pancha Jnanendriyani, Tok is that's one of the sense organ of perception, touch. It is throughout the body. Similarly, the seat of Vyana is the whole body, entire body. Then Udana. Udana, it represents the Shakti, the power which is peculiar and also unique. Udana, doesn't function normally. Udana is not the regular function. It functions occasionally. And also Udana, it reverses the regular process, the normal functions. In that sense, it is peculiar. For example, when we eat food, the food enters the system. It should enter the system. But sometimes what happens, when something is wrong with the food, or if you are not taking the food properly, the eaten food is vomited out. And also the food particle may enter the windpipe and it is thrown out forcefully. So the Udana takes care of that. It takes care of the preventing the toxic food or preventing the wrong entry by just expelling it out. So Udana is like an emergency exit. It is like the fire extinguisher, which are not normally used, but used only in case of emergency. That is Udana. In Vishnu temples, you will find a door on the northern side of the Garbhagriha, the deity. That is called Swargavasal, Swargadwaram, the entrance to heaven. This door will not be open on all the days. It will be open only once in a year, and that too on the Vaikuntha Ekadashi day. Similarly, Bhagavan has kept an emergency exit, has kept in power which protects and saves our life in case of emergency. And also this Udana, it operates at the final time. Udana is active, becomes more active at the time of death. So with Udana functions, all the normal functions of the body will stop. Breathing will stop. Food will not enter. All the organs stop functioning because now the prana is ready to leave the body. Why? Because Udana is active. So Udana is responsible for ejecting out the life from the body. So Udana It reverses the normal process for the sake of security. That is one function. Second function is Udana is also responsible for ejecting out the prana from the body at the time of death. So Udana functions in these two ways. Therefore, it functions occasionally. Since Sukshma Shariram is ready to leave the Sthula Shariram at the time of death, prana is being a part of Sukshma Shariram. The prana it withdraws its presence from all the organs and therefore they stop functioning. And that is the time the Udana becomes active and it ejects the jiva from the body. Therefore, this Udana is that system which stops or reverses the functions of all the prana, apana, vyana and samana. It functions generally at the time of death and also occasionally for security. So this is the function of Udana, and the seat of Udana is the throat. The seat of Udana is the throat. At the time of death, the Sukshma Shariram may leave the body through any part of the body. But generally, throat is the general exit. Throat is the general exit. According to our the Shastram, throat is the general exit. Therefore, the locus of Udana is considered to be the throat. Then finally, Samanaha. Samanaha. Our job is to eat, to keep the body alive, to keep the body active. Our job is just consumption of food. Is just to push the food down the throat. But what happens to the food after it crosses the throat? Once it crosses the throat, we don't have any control over it. Then the samana takes care of it. The samana, it takes care of the food after the throat. So therefore, samana, it represents the digestive function. Samana is responsible for the assimilation of food and converts the food into the energy, into nutrition that the body system can absorb. Therefore, these fivefold physiological functions, Panchat Pranaha, they represent the Shakti which operates behind the physical internal organs. They do not refer to the physical part. Understand that Panchat Prana, they do not refer to the physical part. They refer to the Shakti which operates behind the organs. All these internal organs are nothing but Golakam. Therefore, this Golakam, they do not belong to Sukshma Sharira. They belong to Sthula Sharira. So Pancha Prana, it refers to the power which operates behind the internal system. So how do we know that they are inferred only by the function of the system? So this fivefold classification, it covers the function of all the organs of the internal system for sustaining life in the body. Since they are subtle and vital for living, the prana is translated as vital force or vital energy. But we will retain the word prana. So these are the five-fold prana. Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. Now, the next component of Sukshma Sharira, which the author has defined in the definition, is Manastaikam, Buddhistaikam. That is Manaha and Buddhi. That we will take up. Sankalpa Vikalpatmakam Manaha. Sankalpa Vikalpatmakam Manaha.
Sankalpa Vikalpatmakam Manaha.
Nischayatmika buddhihi.
Nishchayatmika buddhihi.
Okay. These definitions you will not find in Tattvabodha. These are the additions which I am supplying to complete the topic. Okay. So now, Sankalpa Vikalpatmakam Manaha. Nischayatmika Buddhihi. Manaha and Buddhihi are defined. Manaha means mind. Manaha is mind. It is manas. It is the Pratiparikam for Manaha is manas. Sakarantaha Napumsakalingha manas Shantaha. Manas. How many minds we have? Ekam Manaha. Manascha Ekam. Manaschaikam. Manascha Ekam. Only one mind. Buddhi means intellect. Buddhi. Buddhihi. Ikaranta Strilinga Shabda. Strilingaha Buddhi Shabda. How many intellects we have? Eka Buddhihi. Buddhischaika. Eka Buddhi. Only one intellect. Though we count manas and buddhi as different internal instruments, understand there are internal instruments. Antakkara. Though we count manas buddhi separately, they are one and the same. One antakkaranam. Antakkaranam is internal instrument. Bhakshya is external instrument. So one antakkaranam, based on the functional difference, it gets two different names. Antakkaranam is only one, but based on the functional difference, it gets two names, manas and buddhihi. You can ask how one antakkaranam can perform two different functions. Why not? The tongue, what we use for speech, it's also used for taste. In fact, there are many cases where one thing or person or the object can perform different functions. As a woman, you play different roles. You play the role of a mother to your kids. You play the role of a daughter to your parents. You play the role of a wife to your husband. So the same way, one antakkaranam performs different functions at different times, not simultaneously. So, two different names for one internal instrument, antakkarana. This antakkaranam is called mind. It is called mind. Mind is a common word in English. The antakkaranam is translated as mind in English. According to us, in Vedanta, we for manas and buddhi we use for manas and buddhi they are antakkarana. In English, they translate manas as mind. But for us, when we discuss here, we say mind in Vedanta, it refers to antakkaranam. It consists of manas and buddhi. That you must understand. So when we discuss Vedanta, when we say mind, mind means antakkaranam. Antakkaranam means it is both manas and buddhi. In Sanskritam, we have two different words based on the difference in its function. Therefore, they are manas and buddhi. So this antakkaranam, when it does the job of vikalpa and sankalpa and vikalpa, it is called manas. Sankalpa vikalpatmakam manaha. When the mind is oscillating, when the mind is doubting, why does it doubt? Because it is not sure of what the person or what the object is. There is a problem of coming to a conclusive decision to determine what the thing is. Therefore, there is a doubt. So when the mind is oscillating, the mind is doubting, when the mind considers the pros and cons, whether I should go or I should not go, whether it is right or wrong, whether the object is this or that, whether to do a particular action or not. So this assertion and negation, that is called manaha. That function of the antakkaranam is called manaha. Also, emotions belong to manas. Sukham, dukkham, anxiety, worry, depression, they also belong to manas. when you are in doubt, your mind oscillates between two ideas, like the pendulum of a clock, to be or not to be, to decide to do or not to do. So the pendulum is moving in one direction, it's called sankalpa. The pendulum moving in the opposite direction is called vikalpa. So this faculty of sankalpa vikalpa, this oscillation faculty is called manas. Therefore, manas stands for both the faculties. Doubt, doubting faculty or thinking faculty. Thinking means not coming to any conclusion, it's just thinking, oscillating, as well as emotion. So these are the two faculties. The same antakaranam, when it does the function of ascertainment, conclusion, determining, nishchaya, it is called buddhihi. Buddhihi is translated as intellect. Buddhihi solves the indecisiveness. It puts an end to the oscillating faculty. When the antakaranam, it enjoys a function of judging, a function of determination, it is called buddhihi. When the antakaranam cannot determine the nature of an object, it is called manas. When it can determine what it is, then the faculty is called buddhihi. So in some texts, the antakaranam is divided into four. Here the antakaranam is, now I am dividing that into two, manas and buddhihi. In some other texts, the antakaranam is divided into four based on its function. Manas, buddhihi, chittam and ahankara. Only one antakaranam, but that division is based on the functions. Two more things are added, chittam and ahankara. Chittam is memory. Chittam is memory. Ahankara is the sense of I. When the antakaranam, it remembers the object or the person or the thing that comes into contact with, that faculty of remembrance is possible only through chittam. Here the antakaranam performs the function of a storage device. The data is stored in the chittam and it is stored in the system. That's memory. So the antakaranam functions the job of a memory. So when the person comes into contact with a particular thing or a object, then it refers to the memory and decides what it is. The data which is stored in the memory is compared with the object that it contacts with and comes to a decision. So when the antakaranam it establishes a relationship with the object or the person, then it is called ahankara. For example, you see a pot. You know that it is a pot because you have the knowledge of pot stored in your memory. The knowledge of pot is there in your memory. Therefore, when you see a pot, the antakaranam can sense, can see that it is a pot. Why? Because the knowledge of pot is there in your chittam. And now the pot belongs to you. It is your pot. Then you say, it is my pot. Now a relationship is established with the person. It is because of ahankara. So ahankara is the sense of I. In this way, the antakaranam is divided into manas, buddhi, chittam and ahankara. But in English we call all these four or these two as only one name, that is mind. Though we may use the word mind, but you must understand what we mean by mind is antakaranam. The very identification of this Sthula Shariram and Sukshma Shariram is because of this ahankara. So ahankara is also the part of antakaranam only. It's also antakaranam. When the sense of I dominates the antakaranam, then antakaranam it becomes ahankara. It is a function of the ahankara. Therefore, the Sukshma Shariram consists of How many components? 19 components. When we divide the Antakaranam into 4, Manas, Buddhi, Chittam, and Ahankara, then Sukshma Shariram consists of 19 components. Pancha Jnanendriyani, Pancha Karmendriyani, Pancha Pranadayaha, then Manaha, Buddhi, Chittam, Ahankara. So 19. But when we divide the Antakaranam into 2, as Manas and Buddhi, then Sukshma Shariram consists of 17 components. Saptadasha Kala. Whether we divide into 19 or 17 doesn't matter, it is all the same thing. When we divide that in Antakaranam into 2, Manas and Buddhi, then the Chittam can be included in the Buddhi, Ahankara can be included in the Manas. So in that way it is only 17 components, Saptadasha Kala. Remember, all these discussions are with regard to understanding what Atma is not. We are not discussing about Atma now. We are discussing what Atma is not. When we know what Atma is not, there will come to know what Atma is. Therefore, Atma is different from Manas and Buddhi. That is the discussion. Okay. Now, before we go to the next topic, now let us analyze what happens to the mind when we die. Our Shastram says that after the death of Sthula Shariram, the Sukshma Shariram takes up another Sthula Shariram. When it takes another Sthula Shariram, then all the memories stored in the mind, Antakaranam, is transferred to the new Sthula Shariram. And this process of taking new bodies, it continues till the whole Jagat is resolved back into its unmanifested state. That is Pralayam. When the whole Jagat is goes to Pralayam, this process of leaving one Sthula Shariram and taking another Sthula Shariram, it continues. It means what? It means we carry the mind and the memories of the previous Janma. That is why some people, they remember the previous Janma also. The memories of previous Janma comes. Okay. Now comes the next Shariram. Karma Shariram. 1 minute. Just a minute, I'll come. Okay. Now comes the next topic. Karana Shariram. Can repeat after me. Karana Shariram Kim.
Karana Shariram
Kim
Anirvachya Anadi Rupam Shariradvayasya
Matram
Jnanam
Satsvarupa Jnanam
Pakarupam
Nirvikalpaka Rupam
Yadasti Tat Karana Shariram.
Yadasti Tat Karana Shariram.
Important definition, Karana Shariram. We'll discuss each. There are 4 descriptions of that. We will discuss each description. Karana Shariram Kim. What is the causal body? The Karanam, the word Karanam is translated as causal, not causal, causal body. Anirvachya Anadi Avidya Rupam Sharira Dvayasya Karana Matram Tatsvarupa Jnanam Tatsvarupa Jnanam. It's not Tatsvarupa Jnanam. Okay, that Pa is Veda. Tatsvarupa Ajnanam. That is what Tatsvarupa Jnanam. Nirvikalpaka Rupam Yadasti Tat Karana Shariram. So Karana Shariram is defined or described with 4 descriptions, 4 words. I'll give a general translation, then we will see each description in detail. Probably we'll discuss 2 descriptions today and another 2 in the next class in detail. So, Karana Shariram is that which is, number 1, Anirvachya Anadi Avidya Rupam. That is in the form of Anirvachya, indefinable. Anadi, beginningless. Na Adihi, there is no beginning for that, beginningless. Avidya Rupam, ignorance. That is in the form of that which cannot be defined, that which is beginningless, and that is the form of ignorance. This is description number 1. Sharira Dvayasya Karana Matram. Number 2. That it is the Karana Matram. It is a cause for the Sharira Dvayam. What are those Sharira Dvayam? Stula Sukshma Sharira. The gross and the subtle body. For the gross and the subtle body, this Sharira is the cause. Sharira Dvayasya Karana Matram. Sat Swarupa Jnanam. Sat Swarupa. That is the nature, one's own nature. Ajnanam, ignorance. So, ignorance of one's own nature. That is Sat Swarupa Jnanam. This is the 3rd description. And the 4th one, Nirvikalpaka Rupam. That which is in the form of Nirvikalpa, which is free from Vikalpa. It's free from Vikalpa. Vikalpa means difference, differentiation, which is free of differentiations, such as the subject of distinction. That is not there. It is free from that. Okay. Now, by the very word Shariram, we know that this is also a body. Like Stula and Sukshma, it is a Sharira. Because it is called Karana because it is the cause of the other 2 bodies, Stula, Sukshma, Sharira. That is why it is called Karana Sharira. We know that the matter cannot be created nor can be destroyed. Energy cannot be created nor can be destroyed. When we say a table is created, really speaking, a new non-existent, totally non-existent table is not created. Wood is there, a form is given to the wood, and that form happens to be a table. So we say table is created. Really speaking, table cannot be created. We know that, we discussed. We cannot create an ounce of matter or energy. What we can do is only transform the existing form of matter or energy into another form or matter. Only we can do that, help in transformation of the existing form. Only a form and name is created, not any new substance. New substance cannot be created. That is not within the scope of Jiva. Similarly, a tree is not generated. A vriksha. A tree exists in the form of, exists in the unmanifested state in the seed, bija. A vriksha, it exists in the unmanifested state, abhyakta rupa. It exists in the unmanifested state in the bijam, in the seed. Abhyakta rupena bije vrikshah asti. Vrikshah asti, a tree exists, but not generated. How does it exist? It exists in the form of the seed. The tree exists in the form of unmanifested form. The tree exists in unmanifested form in the seed. A seed is the unmanifested form of the tree. A tree is a manifested form of the seed. So what really happens is only the change from manifestation to unmanifestation, and unmanifestation into manifestation. This is what really happens. Vyakta rupam to avyakta rupam, and avyakta rupam to vyakta rupam. Remember, vyakta, avyakta. Vyakta is manifestation, avyakta is unmanifestation. The whole Jagat, the universe, it exists all the time. During Pralayam, during resolution, what happens is the Jagat goes back to the unmanifest state, seed state, causal state, Avyakta Rupam, Avyakta Prapancha. The whole Jagat goes, the Prapancha goes back into the Avyakta form, Avyakta Prapancha. And during Srishti, the Avyakta Prapancha, it manifests like a vriksha, which manifests from the seed. Vyakta Prapancha comes during Srishti. Therefore, what happens is only the appearance and the disappearance, manifestation and unmanifestation. It is called Srishti and Pralayam. So when you say Srishti, the right word for translating is Srishti is not creation, it is manifestation. Pralayam is, we say, Pralayam is not destruction, it is not destruction, it is unmanifestation. It goes back into the unmanifest state. Because you cannot create a new matter, a new energy. Therefore, that's only an appearance and disappearance. Similarly, our bodies also, it comes into manifestation. Our bodies too come into manifestation. It becomes Vyakta. That is called Janma. That Vyakta, that manifestation is called Janma. When it goes back into the unmanifest stage, it is called Maranam. So Janma is manifestation, Maranam is unmanifestation. Therefore, nobody really dies. Nobody really dies, nobody really disappears forever. That is why Krishna says in the Gita, Tattvabodha jatanasam nattam neme janadipaha achedana bhavishyamaha tattvaimatam param. Not that you didn't exist before. Not that you will not exist after. It means what? You can neither be created nor can be destroyed. You are ever existent. That is what Krishna says. Therefore, there is no creation or destruction. If that is so, extending that same logic, our Sthula Shariram and Sukshma Shariram must also have existed before. Before coming into being, they must have existed in some form. They must have been in unmanifest form before their appearance. Our Sthula and Sukshma Shariram, they must have been in unmanifest form. That unmanifest, that causal form is called Karana Shariram. Therefore, Karana Shariram is the seed for the birth, the seed for the manifestation of Sthula Shariram and Sukshma Shariram. Understand clearly. This Karana Shariram is a cause, is a seed for the birth of Sthula Shariram and Sukshma Shariram. In other words, Sthula Sukshma Shariram manifests from the Karana Shariram and it resolves back to the Karana Shariram. When it manifests from the Karana Shariram, it is called Janma. When it resolves back to the Karana Shariram, it is called Maranam. So when the Sthula Shariram dies, what happens? Sthula Shariram, we know it is made of Panchabhuta, 5 gross matter, Panchabhutani. So when the Sthula Shariram dies, it goes back, all the elements goes back to the that elements which is in the Prapancha. Sukshma Shariram, what will happen to Sukshma Shariram? Sukshma Shariram will assume another Sthula Shariram. That is called Punarjanma, rebirth. So that process goes on. So when the when the whole universe resolves in Pralayam, the Sukshma Shariram will resolve back to Karana Shariram. During Pralayam, when the whole Jagat goes back to the unmanifest stage, Sukshma Shariram also will resolve back to Karana Shariram. And during Srishti, it comes back into manifestation. Therefore, this Karana Shariram is the Bijam. Therefore, the Karana Shariram is the Bijam, it is the cause. So what happens is only the manifestation and the unmanifestation. Abhyaktadini bhutani vyaktamadhyani bharata. Abhyakta nidhani eva tatra ka paridevana. Again, Krishna says in the Gita. All these bhutas were in the unmanifest stage before. Abhyaktadini bhutani. And in the middle it has become vyakta. And again it will go back to abhyakta. Therefore, what is there to worry? Everything was unmanifest. It became manifest. Again it will go back to unmanifest. So this process of coming into manifestation and resolving back to unmanifestation, it goes on eternally. Therefore, nobody really dies. There is no phenomenon called death. It is only a change of form. There is no birth or there is no death. This death and birth are only in our mind. Therefore, this Karana Shariram, it is the cause for the Sthula Sukshma Shariram. Sharira Dvayasya Karana Matram Karana Shariram. And this Karana Shariram is the cause for Jivatvam. Jivatvam, the status of being a Jiva. A Jiva gathers a lot of karma. And from the huge store of karma, a set of karmas fructify. And the Jiva has to experience the result of all those karmas. To experience those karmas, the Jiva needs Sukhadukkadi Bhoga Ayatanam, that is Sthula Shariram, and Sukhadukkadi Bhoga Sadhanam, Sukha Shariram. The Jiva needs that. Even your past karma which has not fructified or which will not fructify in this Janma, as there is no scope for it, then those karma will be in unmanifest condition and they form a part of your Karana Shariram. That Karanam, the cause for the next Janma, it is there in your Karana Shariram. So Karana Shariram, it stores all the karma also. Therefore, Karana Shariram is the Karanam. It is a cause. Sthula Sukshma Shariram are the effects, Karyam. The very reason why we have taken this Janma in a particular family is because of our own karma which is in the unmanifest, which was there in unmanifest in Karana Shariram, which have become manifest now in form of Sthula Shariram and Sukha Shariram. So Karanam is Karana Shariram and this Sthula Sukshma Shariram is the Karyam. Therefore, Karyam cannot exist without Karanam. We can easily infer that. Karyam cannot exist without Karanam. A pot cannot exist without clay. If clay is the Karanam, pot is the Karyam. Therefore, Sthula Sukshma Sharirayoho Karanatvat Karana Sharira. Since it is a cause for these two bodies, it is called Karana Shariram. Now, the next description. Nirvikalpaka Rupam. First I took this description, Sharira Dvayasya Karanam, that we discussed. Now I am taking the another description, Nirvikalpaka Rupam. When anything is in causal form, Karana Rupam or Abhyakta Rupam, it will be in undifferentiated form. For example, a tree, a vriksha, in its causal form, doesn't have parts. It doesn't have parts. It will not have parts like branches, roots, leaves, flowers, fruits. It doesn't have. It means in causal form there are no parts, there are no divisions, no vikalpas. A fully grown tree may have branches, trunk, roots, everything. But the same vriksha in the bija form, the causal form is undifferentiated. It has no parts. Divisions are not perceptible in unmanifest form. divisions are not perceptible in unmanifest form as in the seed, the bija, whereas divisions are perceptible in the manifest condition as in the vriksha. Seed and vriksha are only examples. So understand this. Divisions, the differentiations, the differences, they are not perceptible in unmanifest form. Divisions are perceptible in the manifest form. Therefore, karyam is called savikalpaha. Savikalpaha means differentiated. Karyam is savikalpaha. Sura Sukma Shariram is karyam. Therefore, there are differences. Karana Shariram is nirvikalpaha. It doesn't have vikalpa, undifferentiated. Stula Shariram has vikalpas. We have divisions are there. Head is there, leg is there, hands, stomach, their parts are there. Sukma Shariram also has parts, has vikalpas. Though we may not perceive that because it's Sukma, but it can be inferred. Therefore, Sukma Shariram also has vikalpas, but Karana Shariram has no vikalpas, no differences, no parts. Therefore, Karana Shariram is nirvikalpaka rupam. Karana Shariram is undifferentiated. That is why I gave the example of the seed and the vriksha. You connect that to that example. Yes, a tree in unmanifest form doesn't have parts. It doesn't have parts. No vikalpa. So here the Karana Shariram, it doesn't have vikalpa because it is the seed for the Stula Sukma Shariram. So nirvikalpaka rupena Karana Shariram asti. So now we have seen these two descriptions. Sharira dvayasya karana matram and nirvikalpaka rupa. It is a cause for the two Shariram. Karana Shariram is the Karanam and Stula Sukma Shariram is the Karyam. So Karanam and Karyam, remember that connection. So one is a Karanam, other one is the Karyam. Without Karanam, Karyam cannot exist. Cannot exist. So, and Karanam has no parts, whereas Karyam has parts. Karanam has no parts, whereas Karyam has parts. Why? Because Karanam being because it is a Karanam. Therefore, it has no vikalpa, and Karyam has vikalpa. These two corollaries you remember. Without Karanam, Karya cannot exist. This is number one. And Karana Shariram is the Karanam, and Stula Sukma Shariram is the Karyam. This is number one. Number two is Karanam doesn't have vikalpas, no divisions, whereas Karyam will have vikalpas. Therefore, Karana Shariram will has no vikalpas, and Stula Sukma Shariram, which are Karyam, they have vikalpas, they have divisions. So, Sharira Dvayasya Karana Matram, Nirvikalpaka Rupam, that we discussed. Now, what is left out? Anirvachya Anadi Avidya Rupam, and the next description is Satsvarupa Ajnana. These two are very important description that we will see in the next class. Next class probably on the whole class will take for discussing these two descriptions. We'll do it in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnamad Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hare Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah Hare Om.
Dhanyawad.
Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry. Doubts இல்லையா?
Huh?